All right, so now we've got that working. And now that we know where the elbow comes to, we can use that head measurement and just really see where we're at. So we use that head 1, pretty much where the elbow comes up. And then we're going to find the next head unit. This with a hand. And then it's almost like just under half a head longer. And then you've got that first knee. And we're going to double check again with our plumb lines because it pretty much comes to right about here, the outside of his head. And remember to do your ellipses, guys, because they really help sell what you're seeing. All right. And it's starting to feel a little bit bigger, but it's okay because I think his pecs actually come up a little bit higher here. So we're going to move that. And now we're going to try and add some meat to his elbow and arm. And then he's got some muscle going here. So I'll erase some stuff in here just to make it a little more clear. He does have a really weird looking back, but I can't seem to make it look as natural in the photo as it does here, or vice versa. But next we're going to find the other knee. So it should be in line with this one. Get that angle for how that's working in. More of those ellipses we talk about. And then let's get the bottom legs working. I'm going to double check my measurements just to make sure how close I'm getting. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so his feet should come to be about roughly about here. Now the way I'm building up this foot, because he's got his toes rested on the bar, is to build it up by shape. And if your foot is arching, then you want to show that by really putting emphasis on that contour and where everything else is hanging over. Like, where's the weight of that foot coming from? It's placed on that bar or whatever it is that he's rolling his toes over, in this case, for my pose at least. So it's important that we put emphasis on where that's coming from. Make sure you do your ankle bone, and then you can kind of navigate your drawing from there. That looks a very like a very cartoony foot, but essentially I'm building it up here so you guys can kind of see. Let's see. So I'm going to hold my pencil up. I'm still doing proper sight measurement, even though I'm using my computer screen, because it's so important to not lose these skills, guys, during this time. So I really want to make sure you guys are getting out of this what you're trying to. You're getting the most out of this for what you're trying to accomplish. So head 2, head 3 should be the knees. I think the knee needs to be moved up just a little bit to give more room for the calves coming in. So we're going to do that. And I think I put his foot in the wrong place because I just started drawing it, but we're going to drop a plumb line for where that ankle bone comes through. It actually comes right through his hand, which is pretty easy to figure out. So if that's one ankle bone there, we're going to find that angle that we're looking for, and then bam, ankle should be about here. So that can go there. And now we're going to put that foot in. I can come back to that later, but for now it's just a foot placeholder. And then moving forward, we're going to get that other leg in there. We're going to move up that knee. Oops, okay, gotta resharpen that. We're going to move up that knee because if you guys remember, I just moved up the other one a little bit to make more room for his leg. So I'm going to try and move that guy up. Foot to foot. Let's try and compare head to head for how long the knees should be. So the outside of his farthest knee hits about the middle of his second knee, which is pretty good if I put that knee right there. Sweet. I'm just going to move it up a little bit. Yeah. And then we're going to connect this all the way through. This one ends up going through the knee, so this should be about like that. Look where everything intersects, guys, and make sure if you're drawing a line and it gets cut off by a part of the body, that reflects in your drawing. And if it doesn't, it means there's something along the lines that needs to be reworked. And honestly, guys, I would rather something like this that's unfinished because you had to rework elements than something that's finished and has hundreds of flaws, or at least like, you know, a bunch of flaws. So please, guys, take the time and just rework what you know isn't working. You'll teach yourself and you'll gain so much more from it than a finished drawing that has flaws. So very important to be mindful of that stuff. Even write that down, honestly. I mean that wholeheartedly. I'd rather, and I think all your other teachers would feel the same way. We'd rather see you guys putting that effort in to really make something connect than just trying to get a good mark on this, because trust me, the marks will come when you put that time and effort in on how you want to grow. So we're putting in the other foot now, and it gets cut off by his stool, so, and his other foot, and it's hard to read what's going on there, so I'm just going to kind of guess, and it does look like he's got another foot over a rung, so he's got something along those lines. Big calf muscles, so we're going to try and incorporate that. Knee working. And although that's not what's happening in this. More like this. All right, I want to get that knee to feel like a knee, and right now I'm not happy with it because I keep rounding it out a little too much, but in my pose it's quite rounded out, so you got to kind of find the right look to the shape. So again, it helps if you put those ellipses in to show yourself what kind of perspective this is really coming out at you with. Now I'm going to try and put in his other hand, which is holding his elbow. So that's the first place we're going to start, because if we decided to put that elbow here, then we're happy with our measurements. So I'm going to put a plate